observed that my view of the world is changing into a much nicer, better way because of this book, because of this reading. It's uplifting me.
Amazing. That's really great. Definitely, this is true for anyone who is seriously uh, not only reading but also seeing and reflecting and trying to relate to his or her own life. That's how actually the change comes and we experience some lasting transformation. So today's part is from here. Look at the code words. One of you please take over and start reading. Who is taking the lead? Or okay, let me take.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Oh.
Go ahead, Ramesh. No problem. I'll take you. I'll take the next turn.
Okay, fine. Look at the code words. Like in continuation, practical spirituality. Look at the code words. My consciousness of God as my supply is my supply. Let's break down the statement. First, my consciousness of God. This means my awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the presence within me.
This means my awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the presence within me. His presence. Okay.
Yeah. Presence of God within me.
Carry on.
Next page, please.
Has it rendered, Rameshji?
I'm not. I can't see the next page. This is the end of this page. You have to move it to the next page. This is page 63. So we have to go to page 64. It looks like. Am I audible, Bikash?
Yeah, sorry. Actually, today there is some internet issue is going on and it's dropping too often.
Okay.
So let me start sharing the screen again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the previous page was that when you become a present, this means your awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the presence within you. That God presence, Christ, Krishna, Spirit, Divine Mind, or whatever term for the higher power is most comfortable for me. When I am aware of something, I draw that something into my awareness, which is my consciousness. Awareness leads to understanding, and understanding leads to knowledge of jnana.
So, yeah, I think this is a little bigger paragraph. Let's complete and then we'll come and churn on this. Okay.
Okay. So when you turn your mind within and contemplate the presence, when you focus, or maybe, sorry, I'll just read that again. When I turn my mind within and contemplate the presence, when I focus on that spirit within, and when I recognize and become aware of the infinite mind right where I am, a most dramatic thing happens. At the moment of awareness, I open my consciousness to receiving the presence of God, because the energy, substance, intelligence, power, love, and will of that presence follows the beam of my awareness. My entire energy field is filled with the very Spirit of God. Remember, God is, but God is not, in my experience, unless there is awareness, recognition of the presence. Awareness means recognition of the presence. The spirit mind can express in my world only through my consciousness.
So let's discuss whether it's really a profound bunch of statement.
Yeah.
So it starts with this particular line: my consciousness of God as my supply is my supply. So what is my supply? When I am aware of the God, the presence of God in me. If I am aware, then the supply is coming to me. If I am not, then there is no supply.
Yeah.
There is a very nice sloka in Bhagavad Gita, I remember.
Mhm.
Yatha mam prapadyante tamastathiva vajami aham. So there Lord says that ye yatha mam prapadyante means he who praise me in whatever form, I reciprocate to that person in that form. So if one believes that I am Krishna, I reciprocate in that form. If one believes that I am Christ, I am Spirit, I am Divine Mind, I reciprocate to that person from that source. So I am Spirit for that person, I am Divine Mind for that person, I am Christ for that person, or whichever form, I am Krishna for that person. And if someone believes, or a non-believer, like an atheist, that God doesn't exist, for him, there is no God. So, for him, there is no God means his supply is not definitely coming from God or the source of the ultimate supply. So, it's a different matter. It's a different discussion whether he is not having any supply or whatever it is, but awareness is not there for some people, and that awareness actually deprives us to remain connected. We are not aware means we are not connected. We are aware in whatever form or formless or spirit or whatever that we are able to conceive, that is our supply. That from that very moment our supply starts. So profound indeed. Then he says, when you are aware of something, you draw that something into your awareness, which is your consciousness, which is our consciousness. So, if we are practicing soul consciousness or Krishna consciousness or Christ consciousness, whatever consciousness we are practicing, how it is happening is, first step is we need to aware of something. We need to be mindful of something. And the presence of that something becomes our consciousness if that is deep enough, if that is continuous enough, and if that is drawing our belief to the extreme faith. And that awareness leads one line, and
Yeah.
the awareness leads to understanding, and understanding leads to knowledge. That awareness of the source leads to understanding. After that, understanding comes, and that understanding leads to knowledge. Knowledge or the practical knowledge, which is wisdom. So this is a cycle. From here, from consciousness, from awareness, we become conscious, and that consciousness becomes deeper enough to become wisdom and realization. Maybe more than understanding and knowledge. Yes, Ramesh, you wanted to share something.
Yeah, I used to wonder sometimes. One is, of course, I know that when I have had friends who died and came back. So they mentioned that God comes to them in the form that they believe. in, whether it is Krishna or Brahma Baba or Jehovah or Allah. But there are good atheistic people as well, who maybe have chosen to be atheistic because they see religion as a source of pain for humanity, where it seems to divide people. Of course, they might probably miss the higher picture of it being a path. But they follow good nitis, like they follow dharma, like cleanliness, austerity, mercy, truth. At least they follow some kind of ethics. So in that following of the ethics itself, God lies in there, isn't it? Those practices.
Yes, yes, exactly. That is why I told that it is not, it's a different topic that for them, the source exists or not. We are not discussing that because, yes, it's a little controversial topic, but I agree with you that a non-believer is also having the source, and if they are true to their like
Belief.
ethics,
Yeah.
to their soul, the soul itself reciprocates from, and the power automatically gets derived from the principles that they follow, and the principles are nothing but the same principles that a believer follows,
Yes.
a devotee follows, or a seeker follows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
ultimately, that the essence of the bhakti yoga or jnana yoga or dhyana yoga, anything, any like stream,
Any
is
path,
to, any path is to make us understand the true essence of spirituality and make us follow the right path so that we can live the right life and make our life divine like.
Yeah.
And if the same outcome, if someone is achieving from a different source or different method, then it's okay. We should not be judgmental on that process. Or particularly, I actually I have traversed from many different paths, and I have seen many like
variations of the.
yes, variations of organizations. And I what I found is like every path is unique, every path has some essence, and every path is um,
Has its plus
pure,
points.
yeah, pure and divine, and having its own significance. It is not about my path is the best, your path is not. It is definitely not the right thing to say. It is just sticking to the path which is aligned to your nature, and that is Swadharma. Your nature, our nature, we need to understand what is my nature, and when I understand my nature, then I stick to the path which is conducive to my nature. If I am a very logical person. If then Bhakti Yoga might not be very conducive or relevant for me. And if I am a very like kind of a innocent and very uh, different believer, then Bhakti Yoga is the right thing. But Jnana Yoga, if someone says to that person, he will say that why you unnecessarily wasting my time.
Yeah,
Whereas
don't
both
break my
has
head.
that. So the best path would be to have the elements of both, but one thing is certainly is required is like it should not be derived or should not be kind of what do you say, it should not be based out of blind faith. This is the very important aspect that we must understand and remain conscious of. If we are understanding is perfect and we are not driven by blind faith on the Vishwa school, then we are good. Then any path is good enough to lead us because we are understanding not blindly, but we are understanding and following the rituals at by understanding its true meaning. And that is awareness, that is knowledge, that is freedom. That will lead the soul to freedom.
I observe that some people who follow bhakti yoga, see, there are some people who say मेरा I think दिमाग मत खराब करो with this logic and all that. So the bhakti yoga will be very suitable for them. That time initially it is blind faith, no? The important thing is if they do follow the blind faith, somewhere subtly, if their intuition starts developing and they just know that certain aspects are right, if they're really following some aspect of truth and love, even if it's blind in the beginning, gradually they develop the ability to connect with that higher.
Yes, that also happens. That also happens,
Yeah.
but many a times the blind faith remains in blind only.
Yeah, it can be very
And
dangerous.
and that leads to havoc actually at the end moment
Yes,
when they
very much.
understand, when the intuition and ultimately has to develop, and when they understand, then that is too late.
Correct. Yes.
So
Like if
just
you
like
look at
chanting,
very true.
like
Yes.
chanting, if someone is kind of told that no, you have to chant 16 rounds for sure, and if you do not do, then this will happen, and out of fear you should at least do. He will do, but he will do in such a haste manner, and he will do in such a heartlessly.
Heartless, yeah, I know.
So there
In
is
ISKCON, they would say, instead of saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, they'll chant so fast it sounds like Nish Nish Ram Ram.
So because the target is set, that
Numbers,
you have
yes.
to anyway complete 16 rounds, and that poor fellow is thinking that if I do not do, then I will be getting the curse.
I'll be punished. Yes.
I'll be punished. So God never punishes actually. God says that if you do, then you will get more opulence. But if you don't do, then there is like nothing, no punishment. Your own karma might not be proper. So, but if you do half of it also, but with faith, with the true feeling, with true love, then that matters a lot. And that is meditation. That is no more chanting. Chanting slowly leads to meditation. And in meditation, we communicate with God. In prayer, we might be actually experiencing only one-way communication. That is, we are communicating. I need this, I want this, do this for me, and all those things. But no message coming back from the source, from our God. So this is one aspect that I can think of. You may actually, it may be true or false. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that I'm 100% true, but out of the knowledge that I have derived from my last 20 years of spiritual conquest in different organizations, I understood what I understood. I'm saying.
Yeah, especially these faith-based religions. Like if you look at Sanatana Dharma, essentially it is not a religion. It is actually a system. Anybody from any religion can follow it. You don't even have to be converted into Sanatana Dharma, which we call Hinduism now. So it's basically a seeking system. Whereas if you look at, there are many systems around the world which are faith-based, which may be relevant at that time when God came in that form, but they may not be fully relevant now. They would not have evolved. So many of the Abrahamic systems are faith-based, and if you're not careful, whoever's interpreting the faith, like you mentioned, no blind faith, whoever's interpreting it can, based on their, lack of awareness, they can make a meaning which may be different from the original. So that becomes, we have to be very careful there. Even in Hinduism also, there are some sects where, they start saying that this is the only way. So that we have to be careful.
Yes. So here actually this next paragraph has a very nice line. It says that most dramatic thing happens. What is the dramatic thing happens? At that moment of awareness, I open my consciousness to receive the presence of God. So I open my consciousness to receive the presence of God because the energy, substance, intelligence, power, love, and will of that presence follows the beam of my awareness.
Beautiful.
So my awareness has to be so strong, so powerful. My awareness of myself as a soul and my supreme Lord as, in whichever name I believe, So that awareness has to be very powerful and profound. Then automatically the consciousness opens up. My consciousness opens, and just like a closed mind, whatever you say, that closed mind cannot actually take anything. And when the mind opens, that is why actually in management also it is mostly said that keep your minds open, keep open-minded, be open-minded. So when we open our consciousness, that time we receive the presence of God as energy, substance, intelligence, power, love, and we love that presence. And we love that presence follows the beam of my awareness. So all these things anyway we need. Energy we need, substance we need for material existence, intelligence we need, power we need, love we need. All those things are needed. Now author is saying very nice way of attaining that. And the last 2-3 lines are, your entire energy field is filled with the spirit, very spirit of God. Remember, God is, but God is not in your experience unless there is awareness, recognition of presence. God is, but remember, God is, your entire energy field is filled with the spirit of God. Remember, God is, but God is not in your experience unless there is awareness, recognition of the presence. Spirit mind can express in your world only through your consciousness. Spirit mind can express in my world only through my consciousness. So this is so profound. If I want to experience and express, then it is through my consciousness only it is possible. That is the awareness again. So we are almost 20 minutes now. From here, we will start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last thoughts if anyone wants to share? Good. Otherwise, we are done for today. Thank you all for sparing your valuable time in attending the reading session in whatsoever potential that we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikashji. Thank you, everyone. God bless.
Thank you, Vikashji. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.